Good afternoon. Senators condemn China's floating barrier in the West Philippine Sea. Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri says these obstructions are not allowed within the country's 370-kilometer exclusive economic zone. He asks the Philippine Coast Guard to immediately cut and remove the illegal structures to assert our rights in the area and protect our fishermen from any possible accidents it may cause. Meanwhile, Senator Risa Ontiveros says China's cruelty knows no bounds and that the Philippines should no longer accept acts like this unpunished. She adds that if we allow China's bullying to continue, it will cost the lives of our own people. On Sunday, the Philippine Coast Guard and the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources accused the China Coast Guard of installing the 300-meter floating barrier at Bajo de Masinloc to prevent Filipino boats from entering. PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, says they have yet to remove the barriers. He says they intend to document it first for the National Task Force on the West Philippine Sea and leave it to them as to what legal and diplomatic action is necessary.
We intend to document this, and then of course for the National Task Force West Philippine Sea. The most important incident that we monitored with this maritime patrol that we conducted is that there is we captured in camera that the Chinese Coast Guard deployed their 3 rigid hull inflatable boat together with the service boat of one of the Chinese maritime militia vessel in the area, installing a floating barrier in the southeast part of Bajo de Masinloc.
The presidents of 36 state universities and colleges call on Congress to restore the 6.15 billion pesos that was cut from their proposed 2024 budget. In a unity statement, the signatories emphasized that most of the budget cuts were focused on the SUC's funding for capital outlay, which includes facilities, equipment, and other investments that would serve them for periods longer than the next fiscal year. They add that if state universities and colleges are expected to do their duties, they must be funded accordingly. Under the proposed national budget for 2024, SUCs would be allotted a total of 100.8 billion pesos, a reduction of 5.75% compared to their funding this year of 107 billion pesos. According to the unity statement, the reduced budget for 2024 would affect 30 of the country's 118 SUCs. Last week, Kabataan Party List Representative Raul Manuel and other members of the Makabayan bloc at the House of Representatives filed a resolution seeking to restore the 6.15 billion pesos. Caloocan Representative Mary Mitzi Kahayon Uy, one of the budget sponsors for SUCs, co-authored the resolution. After an 11-week streak of price increases, pump prices of petroleum products will roll back on Tuesday, September 26. In separate advisories, oil companies announced that prices of gasoline and diesel will be slashed by 20 centavos per liter. Meanwhile, kerosene prices will go down by 50 centavos per liter. This week's rollback ends the 2.5-month streak of price increases triggered by global production cuts implemented by the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC. The Department of Energy previously said OPEC would extend production cuts of nearly 6 million barrels per day until December. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Senators condemn China's floating barrier in Bajo de Masinloc or Panatag Shoal. Senate President Mig Zubiri asks the Philippine Coast Guard to cut down the barriers. After an 11-week streak of price increases, fuel prices to roll back on Tuesday, September 26. And Patrick King Perez gets the first Asian Games medal for the Philippines after bagging bronze in the men's individual Pumse. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.